Hey everyone, in this short video, I'm going to show you how to invoke an integration procedure from a flow. And what this will allow us to do is to automatically generate a document once a flow has run. So I'm just here on the help page, and what I'm going to do is just copy and paste this code into my org. So we'll start off by getting the class name, and I'm just using VS Code here, and I've got this connected to my org. So we'll just go new class. Give it the same name, and just remember to remove any rogue spaces from the end. And then from here, we'll just copy and paste everything. But before I do, it does say here, when calling this, be sure to replace the namespace with Omnistudio Velocity CMT and so forth. So just to note, over here, we've got namespace. So that is something that we'll have to change before we deploy it. So I'm just going to copy and paste this in and override everything. And I know that my namespace is Omnistudio. So we'll just save that and then right click and deploy the source to org. Okay, and that's successfully gone in. And just to confirm, we'll go into the org and just refresh. And I'm in the Apex classes, and we can see that that has just been deployed there. Now going back into the code, just to quickly have a look, the input parameters that it's expecting once it's in the flow is the procedure name and also input. And if we just go up above here, we can see that the input, the position 0, is being put into something called ID. And that's what will be our context ID or our object ID. So coming back now into our Omnistudio, just to show you, I've already got something set up. This is something that I created ages ago. It's a really basic server-side Omni script. I'm not actually going to use the Omni script, but I just want to show you what's going on. What we have in here is just we've got a context ID that we're setting. We've also got a few other bits and pieces here. And in our integration procedure that we're going to call as well, we are sending through our object ID, template ID, title. And then just to remind you of what this document looks like, it's a really simple table, and we're doing everything on contacts. So we've got name, title, department, and so on. So there's a few things that we need to do here. Firstly, we need to create a new integration procedure, which ultimately calls this one. And then we also need to go and configure that flow. So I'll start off by creating that integration procedure. And we'll just go to new. And we'll just, this is just for testing purposes, so I won't be too specific with the names, but this will be okay, and we'll just save that. And then what we'll do is we'll find the integration procedure action, and coming back in here, we want the same integration procedure to be called. So we'll just call that one there. And it doesn't let me copy and paste. Let me pay attention. Document service gateway. And then it was document generation. And then we need to send through some input as well. So if we just have a look at what we previously sent through, so we've got object ID, template ID, title, and I know up above we've also got context ID there. And we've also got a few different bits and pieces there. So I'll very quickly go ahead now and just copy and paste everything into there. So I'll start with our context ID. And just to point out again, if we come back in here, we can see that that is called ID. So I'm going to call it the same thing. So we'll just go equals and then ID. This time I want my title to be a little bit more meaningful. So I'm just going to call it IP, or actually it'll be contact details from flow. And we'll go with the ID as well. And then just from memory, I know that we've got to provide the output file format one as well. And then let's just go into the preview and we'll go ID and we'll just make sure that this runs. So I'll just get a random contact and get that ID. And then let's paste it in and we'll just make sure that that runs. So execute. And we didn't get any response, so I don't know that that worked. Actually, I have not got a response action, so let me just put that out here. And let's try again. Okay, so that's saying true. So we'll go into the contact and let's just refresh. And we've got something there called contact details from flow. So we'll open it and that looks like the flow that we just ran there. So, or not the flow, sorry, the document generation. So what I'm going to quickly do is just get rid of all these files just so that it makes it less confusing. Okay, so I've deleted all of those, and just for those of you that are wondering, because it has been a little while since I've set this up, if we have a look at the template that I'm using for that one, I'm pretty sure it's the server-side contact details one. Just to show you, in here, this is where we define, so we can see it's server-side, this is where I've defined the data mapper get, or the extract, and also the data mapper transform. So all that integration procedure is doing is inputting the ID and then this whole document or the template here, this is where the data mappers are assigned to. So if I have a look at this get one here, all that it is looking for is just an ID. So let's quickly bring this up just to remind ourselves. We can see that it's looking for the ID there. So that's where the data mappers are all defined, just in the template. And so by sending that template ID, it knows which data mappers to run as part of everything. So just looking back at this contact, we no longer have any notes and attachments, and this will just make it a little bit easier to test. So what we can do now is set up that flow. So we'll just go in, and I'm creating a very basic one. I'm not going to put in any full paths or anything like that. I just want to show you how easy it is to get this all set up. So we'll go new flow, and we'll go scratch, and it'll be record triggered. It's going to be on contact, and I'm going to say on any update, and I'm not going to put in any criteria. Obviously, when you're doing this for real, you'll put in your conditions and do everything properly like that. So what we're going to do now is just go to add an element, and this time it will be an action. And if we search for it, it was called, let's just get up the whole name, integration procedure. Okay, and there's our integration procedure Apex code that's coming up. So we'll click onto that and we'll give it a name. Once it loads, I'm just going to give it the same name just to be very quick. And you can see that we've got our input. We've got the ID, which I mentioned, and then also the procedure name. So let's just go back and get that procedure name because I didn't take note of it. So coming in, I believe it's docgen, and then it'll be underscore, so it'll be the type underscore subtype. So we put that in here. And I'm going to the wrong screens. Oh, also, we need to activate this as well. Okay, so that's activated. If it's not activated, it'll say it can't find it. Okay, we can also have, we've got the output here as well, and you can have your output, but I won't worry about the output for now. And then for the input, it will be the ID of the record that triggered this. So we'll just go to contact and ID. Okay, so just really quickly to recap, we're going to have a record triggered flow on contact, and it's when the contact is updated in any way. We're then going to run this Apex that invokes the integration procedure. We're passing in the ID that's going to be used in the data mappers, and then this is the integration procedure that we're going to use. So we'll just save that and we'll give it a name. So it'll be, this is going to be a very basic test, docgen from flow. And then I'll debug it just to confirm that it's working. So we'll select our contact from before and go run. And let's just see, our output was successful. So let's go back into our contact and just refresh that. Okay, so there actually wasn't anything assigned or attached. So let's see what happened. Okay, so one thing I'm thinking is that I didn't actually change anything on the record, which was one of the, how it was meant to start. So I've got here a record wasn't updated. So when I debugged it, I didn't actually update it in any way. So what I'm going to do is just try something else. I'm just going to activate it. And then we're going to go to the contact record and just change it in some way. So I'll just refresh and we'll see that there's still no document attached. So what I'll do now is I will update something. So let's just update this do not call checkbox. We'll go save. And let's go back and we'll open up the notes and attachments. Okay, it does look like it has been generated now. So if I open it up, we can see we've got Edna Frank up the top and we've got all those details. I'm going to now change Edna's name. So let's find the details there. So we'll go Edna Rose and save it. And what we should find is that the document should be generated when I click save, and Edna's name should be different in that document. So we'll go save. And then let's check our documents. Okay, let's just refresh. And there's the second one. And let's open it up. And this time it says Edna Rose. So I imagine my debug didn't work because I hadn't actually changed anything on the record. But this is a really quick and easy way that you can get that document generation, the server-side one at least, set up so that on a flow that the integration procedure is invoked and therefore it generates and attaches it directly to the record.